from September 2019 and held the charge till his retirement on May 2021. So he had an extensive career of 40 long years. In all these command appointments, the officer also had important staff appointments, including the charge of Director General of Military Operations. Yes, Rizman.
Yes, correct. Tejinder, I'll just request you to stay on with us, and now we're getting some other details of the profile of Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan as well. He's been awarded the PVSM or the Param Vishesh Seva Medal, the Uttam Seva Medal, the Atish Seva Medal, Sena Medal and the VSM as well in his long illustrious career. My colleague Akash also now joining us with more details. Akash, any other details that you're picking up? As I was discussing with Tejinder also, post that unfortunate demise of General Bipin Rawat, there was a void that was created. What has gone in favor of Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan that he is now going to be the next CDS for the country?
So you see, Ridhima, in fact, my colleague Tejinder was pointing out he has an extensive career of 40 years and, talking about several commands. So, talking about counterinsurgency operations and all other things that happen in Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast India. So this was the profile and that was the main reason why he was chosen. Extensive career of 40 years and also the kind of experience that he has was the main reason why he has been appointed. And, this post, as you rightly mentioned, was vacant after General Bipin Rawat. And now we have got the new CDS, Anil Chauhan. And, he will also function as Secretary to Government of India. And, talking about his experience, I should mention this, that, he was commissioned into 11 Gorkha Rifles initially and is basically from, Military Academy, Dehradun. So the experience matters the most, and that's the reason why he was chosen. In fact, our sources in the Defense Ministry are telling us that, he has a vast experience while talking about the terrorism and all the, counterinsurgency operations. And that was the reason why he was the very first choice for the government. And, this post was recently created and, General Bipin Rawat was the first one to serve as CDS. But this post was vacant from last so many months and now we have got the new CDS.
And it's been a period of about 8 to 9 months that we had that void actually. I'll just request my colleagues Tejinder and Akash to stay on with us. We also have retired Major General KK Sinha. We also have retired Lieutenant General BS Jaiswal. Good to have both of you on the broadcast with us. Major General Sinha, let me come to you first. How do you see this development?
I think it is a good move. It has come late, but after 9 months or so, after the demise of Bipin Rawat. But, as far Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan is concerned, he is a very highly decorated officer who has, who has served as a Secretary to Government of India in Department of Military Affairs from the date of when it was actually created. So he has got experience. He has worked under Bipin Rawat. He knows what all things are happening. And he is from 11 GR, Gorkha Rifle. So he is an infantryman who has seen the combat, who has, a lot of experience. So I think it's a very good choice the government, has announced now. And it was a long awaited. We were looking forward. There was some talk that, probably he will, succeed because he has got, first-hand experience. And we have seen that he has got a very, colorful and a very highly rich and experience basically in the combat. He has taken part in many operations. He has been in insurgency. He has been on the appointments. He has been in all front. I think he is the best suited officer as on today. He is retired. And one more thing which has happened, he is a retired. After his retirement, he has joined.
Correct.
So it has a very deep selection. The government has gone into it. And a lot of barriers, the government has broken, that.
Correct. I agree with the point that General Sinha is making, and that's actually the back and forth that was going on, other than the names that were in the running as well, Lieutenant General Jaiswal, that whether we'll actually see a serving officer or will we see a retired officer being brought in. There was a lot of speculation on the Army Chief, General Naravne, also before he took over. How do you see this appointment?
Needed appointment and much awaited for that matter. And there has been a precedence in other countries also that they have had retired generals as the Chief of Defence Staff. So I think what they took into account was the man's experience and his capability and prowess to hold the chair. So they've done a very deep selection. And the mere fact that they have taken a decision, a lot must have been analyzed, and it's a good move. CDS is required, and they've ultimately taken a decision, much-awaited decision.
General Sinha, how do you see his appointment? Because the CDS is a very crucial position, as General Jaiswal was also pointing out. You need to have the synergy of all the tri-forces working together under this one head. How do you see this appointment only strengthening the synergy of the tri-forces working together?
See, as far the, Lieutenant Chauhan is concerned, he has been there, as I brought it out earlier. From day one, when, the officer of CDS, and which is a part of MOD, has come, he has been there. So he understands exactly what is the nitty-gritty of that, because that was the beginning. There were a lot of things which are the gray area and which has been settled down. And, he will able to handle, because he has seen how the integration and the true synergies can be done under the three, services. Because the integrated way of operation is and theaterization is the, the requirement of the day. As on today, the India faces a challenge. Basically, it will have an enlarged role in Indo-Pacific. So our, it is not just going to be a frontier requirement. Basically, Indian forces were looking after only a frontier, whether the Western Front or the Northern Front. Now there is a requirement in geopolitics and geomilitarily and geostrategically that we look into a broader area, and we have got a broader role to play. I think he has got experience. He has been, Northern Army commander. He has been, a number of appointments, which is a very challenging for any officer to take on such responsibility. I think it is very, very good selections. And there were a lot of speculation, lots of names were, been tossed. So it has been settled down, and I wish him all the best. And he has got a very tough task to do it, especially now. And I think he is all set to do that.
General Jaiswal, before I wrap this conversation, when you're taking on from such a rich legacy as far as General Bipin Rawat was concerned, who was also the brain behind the surgical strike against Pakistan, when he was actually the Vice Chief of Army Staff, I believe this was in 2016. What are going to be the challenges, or what is going to be the most crucial priority for India as of now when we get this new CDS?
One of the responsibilities of the CDS is to coordinate the procurement part. I think our procurement has really beefed up, and he will play a crucial role in coordinating the procurement part of it. Second, the theaterization part, this has gone a bit into a limbo. He will be able to now once again give pace to the theaterization. So whatever void was created, was lack of the CDS out there to give directions, I think that will catch up, and it's a very good step, very good step.
Okay. Unfortunately, sir, I'll have to leave that conversation there. Appreciate both of you joining us here on CNN News 18. So India is getting a new CDS. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Plain Speak is up next.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Within a week of the nationwide raids against Popular Front of India, the radical Islamic body, and 8 of its fronts have been banned today by the Home Ministry for a period of 5 years. This ban will now go to a tribunal, and if upheld, it can be extended. This has been a long-standing matter of question and debate. When will the PFI get banned? It was not a matter of if, actually, for most, but a matter of when. For very long, their role in murders and violent agitations, communal unrest were coming to light. And almost all opposition parties were goading the BJP, asking, when are you going to ban the PFI? Because the BJP was raising the PFI question. Today, after the ban, there are two kinds of response. One, where BJP's political opponents ask, why so late? What were you doing for so long? Second, what about others? They draw a parallel of the PFI with RSS or RSS-linked Hindu organizations. Is that comparison fair, or is it a simple ploy to draw a parallel where none exists? If the likes of Congress, the left, the likes of Samajwadi Party believe that PFI and RSS are two sides of the same coin, how come they were never able to take any action against either of them when they were in power, at the center or at state levels? Certainly not against the RSS since 1992. This is the question and equation today. Is it purely political then? The larger question we also ask, has the ban on PFI brought out the terror apologists into the open, into the light, as they say? We will take those questions to our guests in just a bit. But first up, take a look at the various activities and incidents that have formed the backbone of the ban against the PFI. First, here are as many as 10 murders that have taken place in which PFI and its workers have been implicated. Some have been convicted. These are just some of those murders from Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, of course, that have come to light since 2016. Of course, our viewers would remember that it was way back, over a decade back, when Professor T.J. Joseph's hand was chopped off by PFI workers, the first such case in which they were even convicted in. Then there is the alleged terror link. Agencies say PFI activists have joined the ISIS in Iraq, in Syria over the last few years, and then PFI links to banned terror outfit based in Bangladesh, Jamaatul Mujahideen, have also come to light, and these two have also formed the basis of the ban against this organization. And then there are charges of allegations of money laundering and illegal funds. It is alleged by the agencies that PFI raised funds through banking channels, hawala and donations. These funds were raised both in India and even from overseas. PFI then had a very sophisticated network of layering these funds to project them as legitimate. And then these funds were being used to carry out unlawful and terror activities in India. Agencies have said, by the way, the sources of deposits on behalf of PFI with respect to its several bank accounts were not supported by the financial profiles of the account holders, and the activity of PFI were not being carried out as per their declared objectives. Along with PFI, 8 of its fronts have also been banned. There's the Campus Front of India, the Student Wing, recently in the news during the hijab agitation in Karnataka, where direct links were found to them. National Women's Front, the women's wing of the PFI. There's a Junior Front, which is the kids wing of PFI. The kid in Kerala recently, who was caught on camera making highly objectionable, violent slogans in a PFI rally, was allegedly a member of this kids front. All India Imams Council, supposedly a congregation of Islamic scholars and teachers. Rehab India Foundation, which claims to be a non-profit outfit working for the poor and needy. Rehab Foundation Kerala, which is the Kerala wing of the Rehab Foundation. There is the National Confederation of Human Rights Organization, which claims to work to protect rights of the exploited and marginalized. Empower India Foundation. It claims to provide intellectual and motivational support to weaker sections. Now, it is possible that some of these organizations were indeed doing some work on the ground. But if that was being used as a front for illegal acts, then you gotta go. Now, a lot of politicians are raising the question, why ban the PFI? What is the proof? The NI obviously has done its homework before the raids, and the MHA will not ban an organization without ample proof. As I said, many of them were asking the central agencies, why are you not banning them? Today they ask why. Now, this is what has been recovered from various PFI offices. IED making document recovered from the UP PFI leader. Marine radio have been recovered from the SDPI chief in Tamil Nadu. What were they doing with these? Swords, weapons at Maharashtra, a PFI president's home, and cash seized from a Bengaluru PFI leader. None of this is frankly screaming innocent to anyone. So the big question we ask today, given the political reactions that have come in the aftermath of the PFI ban, has it exposed terror apologists in India? Listen into how the BJP leadership welcomed the ban today, how the opposition has reacted, and why the RSS was dragged in. What did they have to say on that?
A very, very welcoming move. I'd like to express our gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah for this bold action. PFI and CFI create the fertile ground so that the ABT or Al-Qaeda Indian subcontinent can recruit youth. But apart from that, they also instigate people against the country, against the state.
स्वागत योग्य कदम है। केंद्रीय गृह मंत्रालय ने बहुत अच्छा निर्णय लिया है और पूरे प्रदेश और देश में बहुत ही खुशी की लहर है। जिस ढंग से गैर सामाजिक, गैर कानूनी गतिविधियों में संलिप्तता पाई जा रही थी, PFI पर रोक लगाना बहुत आवश्यक था। इन लोगों ने प्रदेश और देश के अमन चैन को डिस्टर्ब करने का कुत्सित प्रयास किया था, गैर कानूनी गतिविधियों में संलिप्त थे और इनके नेटवर्क को पूरी तरह से ध्वस्त कर देना ये हम लोगों का प्रथम कर्तव्य है।
It was a long time demand by the people of this country, by all political parties, including opposition like CPI, CPM and Congress. PFI is a avatar of Simi, KFD and PFI. They were doing all anti-national activities and time had come to ban this organization.
PFI संगठन जो है, ये जो पॉपुलेशन फ्रंट ऑफ इंडिया, ये जो पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद के नारे लगाते हैं, उनको इस देश में ऐसे नारे लगाने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है। ये गृह विभाग पूरी तरह उनका बंदोबस्त करेगी।
Really have not worked in the past. The same people can work with a different name in a different organization. We've seen that happen. Yeah, the banning, as I told you earlier, RSS was banned thrice. Has stopped them. That's why I'm saying that killings and retaliatory killings. That was end.
ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದೇನು ವಿರೋಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಂಬರ್ 1. ನಂಬರ್ 2, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ RSS ನವರು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕ್ರಮ.
लेकिन एक चीज समझ नहीं आई कि 5 साल के लिए क्यों है ये सूट। इनको 5 साल करता है, उसके बाद इनको सूट करेगा। पहली ये चीज है। दूसरी चीज ये है कि बैन करते वक्त और चीज़ों की तरफ भी देखना चाहिए। बहुत सी एक्टिविटीज़ RSS की एंटी नेशनल एक्टिविटीज़ हैं।
अब ये तो गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी है। बहरहाल हम तो इसको पसंद नहीं करते। उन्होंने जो बैन लगाया है, और भी पार्टियां हैं, वो भी सब सियासी पार्टी हैं। ये भी एक सियासी पार्टी थी, लेकिन ये मुस्लिम कौम को रिप्रेजेंट करती है। उन्होंने उन पर बैन लगा दिया। ये मुनासिब नहीं था, बैन नहीं लगाना चाहिए था, या तो फिर और पार्टियों पर बैन लगाओ।
कांग्रेस उस समय की पंत प्रधान श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी ने लोकतंत्र और संविधान को कुचलते हुए, आपातकाल लगाते हुए संघ पर प्रतिबंध लगाया। अल्टीमेटली संघ पर से प्रतिबंध हटाना भी पड़ा। देश में संघ लोकतंत्र का रक्षक बनकर उभरा। जब जब संघ पर किसी भी दल ने उंगलियां उठाई तो वह सूर्य पर थूकने समान सिद्ध हुआ। और कांग्रेस का ये राग वैसा ही है जैसे 1947 में कांग्रेस देश के विभाजन की कसूरवार बनी आज़ादी के समय में, और RSS को गाली देने से वह इस अपराध से कभी भी मुक्त नहीं हो सकते।
First up, I want to go across to Abdul Khalik, who's the Congress MP from Barpeta in Assam. He's one of those who has, in a way, raised a doubt over the government action. अब्दुल जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। पहले तो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, आपने बोला कि PFI पे जो बैन लगा है वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन RSS पे भी बैन होना चाहिए। क्या PFI और RSS का कोई कंपैरिजन हो सकता है?
मैंने ये नहीं बोला RSS बैन होना चाहिए। मैं बोला कोई दफा पहले RSS भी बैन हुआ था। सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल ने RSS को बैन किया था। ये इमरजेंसी का टाइम में बैन हुआ था। ये आपको नरसिम्हा राव गवर्नमेंट का टाइम में बैन हुआ था। और RSS का तो काफी एक्टिविटीज डाउटफुल है। इसमें तो कोई RSS तो नफरत फैलाते हैं काफी टाइम, और नफरत से ही आतंक होते हैं। लेकिन मैंने ये मांग नहीं किया उसको बैन होना चाहिए। मैंने ये बोला था RSS भी कोई दफा बैन हुआ था।
तो एक तरह से आप वही तो कर रहे हैं ना, PFI और RSS को इक्वेट कर रहे हैं। तो दोनों में कैसे कंपैरिजन हो सकता है, ये मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ।
मैं कभी कंपेयर नहीं किया, लेकिन PFI कितना राष्ट्रद्रोही काम कर रहा है ये सरकार को पता चलेगा। आई एम नॉट इन गवर्नमेंट, मैं मंत्री नहीं हूं, मेरे पास कोई सबूत नहीं है कितना वो राष्ट्रद्रोही काम कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है। लेकिन मैं ये बात भी बोला है कि मुसलमान समाज को आतंक के वो आतंक के पास जाए, ऐसा एक साजिश चल रहा है। ये साजिश ये मुसलमान समाज में राजनाथ सिंह जी से पूरा सहमत हूँ। भारतीय मुसलमान हमेशा ये आतंकी के साथ नहीं है, ये मेन स्ट्रीम के साथ है, और ऐसा कुछ कदम नहीं उठाना चाहिए ताकि ये आतंक के पास जाए।
नहीं तो ये कैसे, अब मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा, आप ये बात बोल कैसे रहे हैं? पीएफआई को बैन करने से क्यों आतंक के पास जाएंगे मुसलमान लोग? ये तो बहुत गलत बात बोल रहे हैं आप।
सुनिए, मैंने कभी नहीं बोला पीएफआई को नहीं बैन करना चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसा माहौल मत क्रिएट करो जो माहौल से जा सके। सरकार को मैं होशियार होने के लिए बोला, मैं ये नहीं कहा पीएफआई बैन होने से मुसलमान आतंकी समाज पास जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं बोला, लेकिन सरकार को होशियार होना चाहिए, ये मैं बोला।
नहीं, आप घुमा घुमा के बात कर रहे हैं, मैं आपसे सीधा समझना चाह रही हूँ। आप आरएसएस की बात कर रहे हैं, आप माहौल की बात कर रहे हैं, ऐसा क्या हुआ है जो आप माहौल की बात कर रहे हैं देश में?
आरएसएस का नाम इसलिए बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि आरएसएस नफरत फैलाते हैं, और नफरत जब ज्यादा होते हैं तभी आतंक का माहौल होते हैं। इसलिए समाज में जो नफरत फैल रहा है, ये नफरत बंद होना चाहिए। नफरत फैलाना, जब तक नफरत रहेगा, नफरत का काउंटर इफेक्ट भी होते हैं, ये नहीं होना चाहिए।
नहीं, ये जो आप कॉजालिटी कर रहे हैं, मेरे ख्याल से तो वो सही नहीं है। बट मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, आपने बोला सरकार को ऐसा कोई कदम नहीं उठाना चाहिए जिससे आतंकवाद फैले। आपका मतलब क्या है? आप खुल के बोलिए ना।
मेरा जो बोलना तो बोल दिया, आप जो चाहते हैं वो तो मेरे मुंह से नहीं निकलेगा ना।
मैं तो बस क्लैरिटी चाह रही हूँ।
तो बोल दिया मैंने।
But is it also not fair, sir, that there has been a political and social support to bodies like PFI? आप जो बोल रहे हैं, माहौल की बात कर रहे हैं, मुसलमान खतरे का खतरे में टाइप नैरेटिव है, उससे ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बनती है ना। तो इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को पॉलिटिकल और सोशल सपोर्ट भी मिल रहा है।
पीएफआई कितना टेरर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है मुझे नहीं पता। मुझे नहीं पता पीएफआई कितना टेरर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, कितना टेरर वो फैलाया, कितना आतंकवाद किया। मेरे पास कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, मैं कैसे बताऊंगा? मेरे पास कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है। सरकार, मैं एमपी हूं, सरकार अगर पार्लियामेंट में सारे सबूत रखेगा तब तो मुझे पता चलेगा। पार्लियामेंट के सेशन नवंबर में होने वाला है, सरकार अगर सारे सबूत रखेगा तब हमको पता चलेगा।
मैं आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन के लिए बता देती हूँ, इन्वेस्टिगेशन के हिसाब से अभी पिछले 5 सालों में ऐसे 10 मर्डर हो चुके हैं केरला, कर्नाटका, तमिलनाडु में, जिसमें पीएफआई का हाथ निकला है। आपको ये प्रूफ काफी नहीं लगता?
देखिए, एनआईए के वही बोला, पार्लियामेंट का सेशन जब डाटा पार्लियामेंट में रखेगा तभी हमको पता चलेगा, नहीं तो कैसे चलेगा? अभी तो सारे एजेंसी जो सरकार का है, अभी तो काफी टाइम सरकार का एजेंसी पॉलिटिकली भी इस्तेमाल होते हैं। आप ईडी का बात करो, सीबीआई का बात करो, जो सरकार का खिलाफ आवाज उठाते हैं उनका खिलाफ ये ईडी का इस्तेमाल होते हैं, सीबीआई का इस्तेमाल होते हैं। एनआईए अभी कितना काम किया, क्या सबूत आया, क्या नहीं आया, जब सत्र चलेगा पार्लियामेंट का तभी पता चलेगा ना।
आप आसाम से आते हैं, मैं आपसे एक आखिरी सवाल आसाम के बारे में पूछती हूँ। आसाम में भी रोल आया है पीएफआई का जब अनरेस्ट हुआ था, तो आपको नहीं लगता कि पीएफआई टाइप की जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस है आसाम के लोगों के लिए, आसाम के मुसलमानों के लिए भी खतरनाक थी?
मैंने कभी ऐसा, देखिए आसाम का मुख्यमंत्री बोलते हैं, लेकिन मैंने पीएफआई को कोई टेरर एक्टिविटीज नहीं देखा। मैं कैसे बोलूंगा? आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री जो कहते हैं, आसाम को मुख्यमंत्री के बात मैं बिल्कुल विश्वास नहीं करता, क्योंकि आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री एक विशेष समुदाय के खिलाफ बोलते हैं। मैं खुद मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ एक केस लगाया, वो लोअर कोर्ट ने मुख्यमंत्री का खिलाफ केस दर्ज करने का, रजिस्टर करने का आदेश दिया था, बाद में हाईकोर्ट ने इसलिए तो पता लगा है। तो आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री खुद नफरत फैलाते हैं, आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री ध्रुवीकरण के राजनीति करता है, तो वो जो बोलते हैं उस पर मेरा कोई विश्वास नहीं है, क्योंकि जो नया नया मुसलमान ज्यादा अल्लाह अल्लाह करते हैं, आसाम के मुख्यमंत्री हिमंत बिस्वा शर्मा भी ऐसा है, वो नया बीजेपी बन गया। वो बीजेपी आला कमान को खुश करने के लिए, आरएसएस को खुश करने के लिए वो ज्यादा बीजेपी बन गया, ज्यादा आरएसएस बन गया। इसीलिए हिमंत बिस्वा शर्मा जो कहते हैं उस पर मेरा कोई भी भरोसा नहीं। इसलिए पीएफआई कितना टेरर एक्टिविटीज में है मेरे पास कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है।
आपके पास कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, ठीक है। चलिए, आपको लगता है कि आपको पता ही नहीं है कि PFI का नाम क्यों लिया जा रहा है, क्यों इतने सालों से हम बैन की बात कर रहे हैं। All right, Abdul Khalik, I do appreciate you joining us. Let me take this to our guest joining us now. K.S. Radhakrishnan is BJP Kerala Vice President. In Kerala, the BJP has also made an accusation that the current ruling front also has members of agencies linked to the PFI. Swati Malik is from the Congress Party. RVS Mani is former Under Secretary, Internal Security. Rahul Ishwar, author and activist. Desh Ratan Nigam, political analyst, leans towards the RSS. Maulana Masoodul Hassan Kazmi is Islamic scholar on joining us. Let me go across to our BJP representative first up. K.S. Radhakrishnan, first of all, how do you respond to these allegations coming in from most of the opposition parties today that you've only acted on one side of hate, you've not acted on the other coin? The other side of the same coin?
I don't understand basically what are the reasons for their allegation that if PFI has been banned, immediately to balance that act, RSS also must be banned. This is the logic behind their argument. And they are not presenting any facts to substantiate their argument that RSS is a terror outfit. But I can present any number of instances related to the PFI as they have been practicing violence in every deed which they have done in public life. They have no hesitation to commit any number of murders and no hesitation to commit any amount of crime. And all those have been on the public sphere for the long time. And in the case of the LDF and UDF in Kerala, both the fronts have been practicing the politics of minority appeasement to secure maximum number of votes. That's why they are saying that, no, if this has been done, that also must have been done. But have they said anything that this is what the PFI have done here and we have to oppose it? See, what if they said that RSS, I heard that HUD had said that RSS had been banned.
Yes, it didn't stop the RSS.
Political outfit in
He
India
has said so, and many others have said so. I was speaking to the Congress MP from Assam. He also saying, I am not equating the two. But remember that RSS was also banned.
Why should? For what purpose? Why should you demand that RSS should be banned? How can you make a comparison between RSS and PFI? Such a comparison is just impossible. And you are making an impossible comparison and arguing that if this has been banned, that the other also should have been banned.
No, the point that they're raising,
the right way of presenting
Radhakrishnan ji, the point that they're raising is that in the past, even RSS has been banned. So even the RSS has a dubious past.
Okay, ma'am. In the past, Communist Party had been banned. That was the first banned political outfit in 1948. When they adopted a resolution known as Calcutta Thesis by B.T. Ranadive, and they decided to wage war against the state. When they decided to wage war against the state, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru banned that organization. So if one organization has been banned, by that reason, subsequent bans must be there is the argument. Then my friend HUD has to recollect the past instances and has to admit that his organization must be banned first.
Okay. Rahul Ishwar, you were raising your finger. You wanted to come in. You know, is this a false equivalence? Is this just a convenient political argument that because PFI has been banned, so RSS must also be banned? Or let's say a VHP or a Bajrang Dal should be banned? Does this comparison exist? Or is it just a political argument?
No, it's false equivalence, which is usually called monkey balancing.
Yeah,
Every
monkey
nation
balancing.
needs balance. Monkey balancing is different from genuine balance. This is false equivalence. Please remember, we have responsible organization from Hindu and Muslim communities, but there are hardline extremist organization which needs to be alienated. There are such kinds of crazy crackpot fringe in all communities.
All right. Unfortunately, I've lost that link. But Swati Malik, let me come to you because the Congress also, along with a lot of the opposition parties today, Rahul Ishwar is back. Rahul Ishwar, finish your point.
Just one line, yeah, just one line. We also have people like Satvi Prachi, against whom I have filed a complaint for her anti-Muslim remarks. We have crazy crackpots like Yati Narasimhan too. But the larger point is many people are artificially trying to balance because of their pseudo-secularism by comparing Popular Front and RSS.
Basically, this is the same saffron terror to equate with Islamic terror nonsense going on, isn't it?
That's false equivalence, that's monkey balancing. And please remember one more thing. Kerala is home to some great Muslim organizations like Indian Union Muslim League, like MES, like Jamaat-e-Islami, like the all-respected Samastha. But Popular Front is a different hardline extremist organization who needs to be alienated. They even
in fact, most of the Muslim bodies are also welcoming it. The ban on them.
And absolutely, yes. And I would like to quote the former Muslim Chief Minister of Kerala, who went on record to say that if Holy Mecca attacked India, me and my children and my family will stand for India and fight against them. See, that is the level of great patriotic, pluralistic culture we had. But these kind of hardline extremist organizations like Popular Front has been bringing shame to our Muslim brothers and sisters, bringing shame to Kerala, bringing shame to India, and they should be alienated.
So I'll come to that in just a bit. I'll come to the social political angle to this. But Swati Malik, I wanted to come to you because many of your leaders are on record today, including former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, to equate the PFI and the RSS. Now, I want to understand from you, you've been in the center for UPA 10 years, from 2004 to 2014, right? You banned the Simi in 2002, and then the PFI was born, and PFI was there. Many of their alleged murders had come to light well before your government was voted out. Why did you never act against either the PFI or the RSS at the center or the state? And if you didn't, what right do you have to question those who are taking action against the PFI today?
Shivani, let me first clarify that the Congress party welcomes this step of the government of banning PFI, even though we call it belated because they came to power in 2014. And one of their main agendas and was to ban PFI. Anyways, it took them 8 years, but all that ends well as well, right? So we welcome this step. And as far as equating RSS with PFI is concerned, right? There, what we are stating now is that, see, PFI was not banned overnight, right? It took them 8 years to investigate, to have those raids, for those NI to come in, and various other enforcement agencies to come in, and then of course when they found something substantial, they have banned it. Correct? Now, what is the harm in demanding the same sort of investigation or action against RSS? And when I say, we're not saying ban it overnight. Please investigate. When you find something,
on the basis of what? Ban it. On the basis of what? Please tell me.
On the basis, we have seen the activities carried out by Bajrang Dal, by RSS, and you cannot forget what Malegaon blast was. Who was that?
Malegaon blast was exactly, Malegaon blast, I'm shocked that Swati, you're mentioning it. Malegaon blast is the albatross around the Congress's neck. Never proved anything. The under-trials were in jail for 10 years. What did you prove out of that?
Shivani, Pragya Thakur is still under investigation, correct?
Yeah, nothing has been proved.
Pragya Thakur is still under investigation, right? So what I'm stating here is hold an investigation. Just don't shut your eye to RSS or VHP or Bajrang Dal.
But you are in power in so many states. Why don't you launch one? You are in power in Karnataka till recently. Why didn't you launch an investigation against RSS? Let me point out though, you are saying you're welcoming the PFI ban today. After coming to power in 2013, Siddaramaiah government approved the dropping of a total of 176 cases filed against 1,600 PFI activists.
And okay, Abhi, see what I'm trying to say, Shivani. Please try and understand what I'm trying to say. I am saying that today when we welcome, are you against the fact that we are welcoming a step by the central government?
But your leaders are speaking in multiple tongues. Swati, I ask you this question because your leaders are speaking in multiple tongues.
No, they are not. All they're saying is please investigate RSS too.
All right, okay. Investigate RSS. Is that so that we can balance it? Let me remind.
If you don't find anything against RSS,
but you can't launch an investigation on suspicion alone. You have to first have something to launch an investigation. You cannot launch it to justify it to somebody. That's victimization.
At least investigate. They were banned thrice earlier. Why are you asking for more evidence against them?
But all of those times that ban didn't stick. The ban against Simi stuck. The ban against RSS didn't. The ban against Bajrang Dal didn't.
Shift in last 8 years. Please answer that. Have we not seen a communal shift in last 8 years? Who are all these agents? Who's Bajrang Dal connected to?
Of course it's connected to Hindu organizations. I'm not denying that. But madam, you have to produce some evidence to say that, okay, there is some large conspiracy going on against the country. PFI, once again, Swati, PFI is accused of waging war against the country. Please understand. Don't equate the two. Yes, there are some communal organizations and each individual will face the law.
When Mahatma Gandhi was murdered, that time also it was banned. What was RSS accused of that?
Again, nothing proved out of that case. Your leader is facing a defamation on that.
Why is RSS shying away of being investigated?
But they have been investigated in the past. They've been banned in the past. Anyways, let me go across to RVS Money. Rahul, I'll come to you in just a bit. RVS Money, what do you have to say about this equivalence being drawn between RSS
equivalence is specuous. Let me put it very clear. 2006, there was an attempt to ban RSS, but UAPA banning is not a simple, it has to be within 6 months revalidated or confirmed by a judicial tribunal, by a sitting judge of the High Court. So now this PFI also nothing to be agitated. If the PFI, if the NIA has collected humongous amount of evidences, and that is the reason the 8 years have taken, because it cannot be just because one margin of error and all these secular people will start shouting, crying victim. So that is the reason humongous amount of evidences have been collected. 2006 also, they tried attempt to ban the RSS. It did not sustain. So it did not even go to the notification stage. What to talk of the tribunal? That is the number one point of it. I have been personally involved in that, so nobody can challenge me on that. Having said that, now that Swati Malik is saying they have a state government, law and order is a state subject in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh. Let them bring the evidence. I will go personally to DG NIA. Say, let this process this and collect the evidence.
Yeah, precisely. That's the most obvious question somebody will ask. You were in power in Karnataka recently. You've been in power in Kerala, for heaven's sake.
Cannot be treated or compared with a terror organization. The amount of funds that have come out, the amount of fund which has come from Qatar, Iran, Saudi Arabia and whatnot, and the amount of training, the amount of arms, the amount of human resource developed. It was like a proper university through which they will be recruited, then radicalized and asked to go through specialization like bomb making or terror attack or rape or jihad or what, this, that and all. This type of verticals were created. So the humongous organization, all India presence. So these have all come out in the NIA charge sheet, NIA information. Now it will have to be confirmed by a sitting judge of High Court. Till that time, there is nothing to be agitated. On the question of comparing with RSS, I still say that I am not a member of RSS because of the extreme fanatism, but it is a nationalistic, ultra-nationalistic fanatic organization. It is certainly not a terrorist organization.
You can have your objections to the RSS, even to the Bajrang Dal and the VHP, but possibly not a comparison with the PFI.
The Chhattisgarh government let us do an investigation, get out the evidence, we will go to
fair enough. But can I also ask you?
To take her personally to NIA, the DG NIA, and follow up with that.
No, can I also ask you, Mr. Mani, I was speaking to the Congress MP from Assam earlier. He said that because there is hate, and there is hate coming in clearly, what he meant was from bodies like the RSS or affiliations, that is why this crime or this terror emerges. I questioned him on that causality. Let me point out to our viewers, the Simi, which was banned by the Congress, by the way, was formed in 1977. The BJP wasn't even formed formally then. The RSS was nowhere then. The BJP was nowhere then. So to suggest the Simi was formed in 1977 because there was some atmosphere of hate, and because Muslims were under danger in India, and that was why it was a response to that, is the most bogus argument. And that is why that argument doesn't stand today either. Maulana Kazmi, I'm coming to you on that. This whole narrative that because there is some persecution, that's why terror happens. First of all, terror is not a response to anything, no matter what the injustice, etc. And that too, terror against your own country, your own countrymen, for heaven's sake. This causality cannot be formed. That because there is hatred today, that is why PFI comes up. Simi didn't come up because of that.
Shivani, one more correction of a short point.
Yeah.
Swati Malik, I have to tell her that Sadhvi Pragya case is under trial, not under investigation.
Yeah.
And the trial also, you know, and I know what are all happening. Now, one of the investigating officer of the ATS has been, warrant has been issued against them.
Yes.
Against
Nothing has come of those cases. Frankly, that entire bogey of Hindu terror, which was used to equalize Islamic terror, has fallen flat. Yes, Maulana Kazmi, my question to you. Mr. Mani, I'll come back to you. Maulana Kazmi, my question to you. Let's not pretend that organizations like PFI come up because of some sort of perceived persecution. That's not true.
No. Shivani ji, whatever the Congress MP said, we are not here to speak on his behalf, and his view may be the political view. I am here to speak on my own behalf as the Islamic scholar, on the behalf of Muslims. From the very beginning, the day popular PFI people cove the hand of the professor, we have been demanding the ban of this organization. We have been demanding, and alone we were the first to demand the ban on this organization, because they did this on the name of Islam, and Islam will never ever allow such type of brutality on the name of Islam. Number one. And we also say, if any person, any people in my community, any person does anything as anti-constitutional, anti-national or illegal activity, again, first of all, punish him or her, punish them first. Saying that, I would also like to comment on other organization as well, on the organization of the other peoples. Look, I am not drawing any equivalent with the RSS and PFI, but I would like to put some fact here and let the nation decide. There is difference between the accusation and conviction.
Right.
There is difference. In Ajmer bomb blast, 2 RSS functionary, 2 RSS people, RSS Pracharak, have been convicted by court. By court means their terrorism has been established by the court. So, another thing, people who are based on the RSS ideology are recreating the organization, recreating the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi ji.
How?
People based on the ideology of organization.
How? Sorry, that's a big allegation.
Temples of Nathuram Godses.
काजमी जी वो बहुत बड़ा इल्जाम लगा रहे हैं आप. कैसे? नहीं, एक सेकंड, महात्मा गांधी की assassination को कैसे recreate किया जा रहा है?
शकुन पांडे, पूजा शकुन पांडे.
आपको पता नहीं है इसका मतलब? आपको जरा अपनी वो कर लीजिए.
आप कह रहे हैं वो रिक्रिएट मतलब ड्रामा कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, अब मुझे समझ में आ गया. मुझे लगा आप बोल रहे हैं कि ऐसे और assassination plan किए जा रहे हैं. वो तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं पूजा
आप नहीं सुना. आपको इसका मतलब जरा आप अपने अपडेट हो जाइए, अपनी मालूमात को अपडेट कीजिए.
नहीं सर, मुझे समझ में आ गया. आप बोल रहे हैं कि उन्होंने ड्रामेटाइज किया, आरएसएस ने
हिंदू महासभा,
ठीक है, उन्होंने ड्रामेटाइज किया, समझ में आ गया सर.
महात्मा गांधी की एसेसिनेशन को रिक्रिएट किया था.
ठीक है, ड्रामेटाइज किया, वही बोलिए. ठीक है, but उसका सर एक सेकंड, I still don't understand how is that put at the same pedestal as actually killing people and actually getting funds from overseas and planning terror attacks. यही तो बात मैं बोल रही हूँ ना
जी. Shivani, I respect my Hindu brothers. I also respect there are many good people in RSS and RSS people. All great Hindu brothers' life are also valuable for us. But point is, when we are here to get rid of terrorism, to get rid of hatred, to get rid of communalism, we also should take action against other organizations also.
Okay, fair enough. Maulana Kazmi, fair enough. I just say that the difference is here the organization is an offshoot of a previously banned terror organization that has actually committed terror acts and was planning more terror attacks, and the entire organization's machinery is working for that. If a person from an organization is doing something Yes, there will be doubts raised on that organization too. I don't deny that. But I'll take that to Desh Ratan Nigam, who's also a lawyer and is close to the RSS. Mr. Ratan, please respond to this. There have been accusations against RSS workers too in the past.
Shivani, in fact, we have to know why this PFI has been banned. First, in order to understand the charges which are being made against RSS or other organizations. One, this organization, PFI, has been banned for breaking the country and waging the war against this country. Second, not believing in our constitution and not having faith or allegiance to our constitution. Third, running a parallel court system called Darul Khada, which is a Sharia court, and they do not believe in our judiciary and court system. Third, running a parallel administration in many places. Fourth, gruesome murders that has taken place of BJP, RSS leaders and other Hindu leaders. The fifth, the riots that were committed during hijab issue or CAA or NRC protest. Huge level of funding that had taken place. Terror financing, drug smuggling, arms acquisition, and training of dangerous arms to the people. And I can continue naming. Please tell me, are these allegations single allegations against RSS or other organizations? Have they waged a war against the country? It is one of the organization which is nationalist and keeps the nation as supreme and is always there in the forefront for any calamity that takes place in the country, whether man-made or natural.
Maulana Kazmi mentioned the Ajmer case.
Yes, I'm telling you, those Ajmer cases, two RSS people, I don't know what has happened to them. They could never be arrested, and in their absence, they have been convicted because they could not come before court. We do not even know whether they are alive or dead. So it was in absence. It was in absentia. It was done. Secondly, Mahatma Gandhi's assassination. Now, Nathuram Godse was a member of Hindu Mahasabha. It was banned that time. And if you look at the CID report of that time or FIR or the charge sheet or the judgment, RSS name is nowhere mentioned. And the moment, they brought the ban against RSS, Sardar Patel was quite, fast in uplifting it also. During emergency, RSS was banned because it was protesting against the emergency.
Yeah, the emergency case has to be kept separate. But then post the Babri incident, also the RSS was banned.
And let me also tell you, Malegaon and Samjhauta Express, there was a Pakistani terrorist which was allowed to flee the country.
Sir, I know. I can't go into all of that because those are very, very serious cases which has to be gone into the depth of.
One more second. Yes. One more second. So far as Sadhvi Pragya's case is concerned, please read the order of bail by Supreme Court. They have clearly stated in that she has been falsely implicated. The amount of atrocities that was committed on her.
Yes, in torture fact, in jail. Yes,
torture and so much things. Just read that Supreme Court judgment on the bail. Please understand that.
Anand Margi's in Purulia armed groping case allegedly involved.
Anand Margis were banned also. Anand Margis was a kind of an organization which believed in a different philosophy. Therefore, they were banned also at that point of time.
Sir,
please
their
remember
ideology
that.
They are also RSS affiliated organization.
No. Anand Margis are not affiliated with RSS. Please don't spread lies. I am a part of RSS. Please, Kazmi Sahab, aapse ye ummeed nahi hai.
Okay.
Aapse ummeed nahi hai.
Radhakrishnan, I want to come back to you. You've raised a particular demand against the Kerala government also to expel one of the leaders you say is from the Rehab Foundation. What is your demand with the Kerala government?
No, the Kerala government, there is a tacit understanding between the state of Kerala, run by the CPM and the SDPI. SDPI is the political outfit of the PFI. Before I come to that point, let me point out one aspect that has been raised by my Congress friend. My Congress friend has raised that just because these and these RSS should be banned. May I ask one question? Should the Congress friend will make a demand that in 1984, under the leadership of 2 or 3 Congress leaders, an unruly mob committed genocide of the Sikhs? Should the congressman will make a demand that Congress should be banned? I will never make such a demand. So This is the difference between the PFI and the
RSS. Okay, fair
the
enough.
RSS
You're saying
has not done
individuals and an individual's
No, no, no.
act from
Yes.
an organization
Please.
and the organization only having a certain agenda are two different things, right?
Let me finish my argument first, then you can interfere.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish my argument. So what I'm telling is that PFI committed anti-national, anti-constitutional, subhuman activities which are against humanity as a whole. Such an organization should be banned. But RSS has never done such activities.
Okay.
The maximum they said that it is an ultra-nationalist organization. I don't think that nationalism is a crime. Everyone has got the right to be a nationalist. And moreover in Kerala, then coming to Kerala, the LDF has made tacit understanding with the SDPI in many local bodies. The same thing has been done by the UDF also. That's why some of the UDF leaders and the LDF leaders have made the statement that RSS also should be banned to make an equalization activity.
Okay.
This is absolutely illogical, nonsensical, and should not be presented in a public sphere.
Okay.
Because we have to be logical when you make an argument.
No, that's why we're
Both
discussing
LDF
it.
and
Let the
UDF
arguments flow from both sides and we can thrash it out. On the issue of the SDPI, RVS money, I want to come to you because while 8 fronts associated with the PFI have been banned, in fact, there was a statement released by the PFI Kerala president saying that the organization is disbanded and they have accepted the ban. I don't know how that will be interpreted and what their designs may be post the ban. I'll leave that aside. But what about the SDPI? It continues to be very much a political outfit of the PFI and is registered under the Election Commission.
See,
That is the question.
Yes.
That is the question again. The SDPI is the political front, is well known of the PFI. Now the question is whether it can be banned under the unlawful association or not under UAPA Act or declared a terror organization under UAPA or not. The question which needs to be agitated and argued upon, because as a political entity, it comes under the regulation of the Election Commission of India. Indeed, there is no doubt about it.
Okay.
But before the issue of whether it's a political entity or not, whether it has to, does it indulge in terror activities? Does it indulge in such organizations with activities which could deem to be a terror? Does it give any support to the terror activity? These are all questions which should be again brought into fore, and I am sure the government will take such other steps to ensure that these do not, if the SDPI is really a political friend, if it can be adequate evidences can be abused on this, it should be banned and the Election Commission should be notified of that, because Election Commission has got a very limited purpose over regulating the political party
parties.
under the
But the recommendation,
and not beyond that.
But sir, the recommendation will have to go from the Home Ministry, right?
Certain sections of the Indian Penal Code, including 153, etc., 295, 153, and this, even this has to be notified if at all required before the Election Commission, and
but who will
Election
do that?
Commission will only ban it as
RVS
a political
money,
party, but as an organization it needs to be banned.
Okay,
This should
RVS
be
money,
taken
what I
up
want to understand from you is who will give that notification? The Home Ministry will have to do it to the Election Commission, right?
No, Home Ministry will have to ban it first and then notify the Election Commission.
Okay. Yes, Deshrattan Nigam, I'm running out of time. Please come in, then Rahul Ishwar has the last word. Yes, Deshrattan Nigam.
Evidences are there.
Shivani.
Let them collect the evidence, make a fail.
Okay, fair enough. Given the swiftness with which the government has acted within 1 week against the PFI, possibly there could be some action against the SDPI also. Yes, Deshrattan Nigam.
See, SDPI, there are two aspects. One is the Election Commission, another is the UAPA. Right. Under the UAPA, one is very clear: if it is declared an unlawful association, for which I am sure the investigations are going on. If the evidence is collected, it can be declared an unlawful association or a terrorist organization under the UAPA, which is will be covered under UAPA.
Right.
And once the ban takes place, then there will be an automatic ban by the Election Commission.
Okay.
Because it will already be a banned organization under UAPA.
Rahul Ishwar, final comment to you. Do you think this PFI ban is going to be used to further the whole Muslim victimhood narrative, which will then further fuel more radicalization.
Shivani ji, this is all happening on a week when Pujaniya Sarsang Chalak Mohan Bhagwat ji reached out to our Muslim community. He went personally to a holy mosque, a madrasa, and reached out to our Muslim community and engaged with the senior Muslim intellectuals. Mahatma Gandhi, an ideal of Hindu-Muslim unity, is essential for India. India cannot survive without Hindu-Muslim unity and pluralism. You can call it secularism, harmony, pluralism, or any word of your choice. But Hindu-Muslim unity is absolutely necessary for India. And all the senior leaders of our nation, whether they belong to any political formation, are mindful of that. And, we are proud that our Muslim brothers have always been at the forefront of guarding India, starting from Paramveer Chakra Abdul Hamid to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So please remember, this tiny fringe of hardline Islamist rabble-rousers are absolutely not representing our Muslim brothers or sisters, and they are not representative of the larger community.
Yeah, but the community has to make itself heard too. We can't assume that.
And Sarsang Chalak has been taking forward the idea of Hindu-Muslim unity in a very good way, and even then they are maligning them. Even then they are maligning RSS. When RSS Sarsang Chalak himself went to a mosque, and they are starting to build bridges. So these are the positive steps. We need to have that Hindu-Muslim unity, but the hardline extremists from every community, may it be Popular Front, may it be Yedi Narasimhanan, may it be Satvi Prachi, these guys should be alienated. There are hardliners in every community, and every hardliner should be opposed.
I have to leave it at that. Let's see how this goes on from here. It is still a task for the central government to ensure that no designs of the PFI succeed post the ban as well. And of course, there is the spectre of it morphing into something else. Thanks a lot to our guests for joining us. I slip into a very short break. Stay with us. On the other side, we'll get to the day's biggest story.
बिल्कुल ही मुखालिफत की, जिसके बिना पर काफी मुसलमानों की हमको नाराजगी भी सहनी पड़ी। हमें उसकी परवाह नहीं थी।
कादरी साहब, एक छोटा सा डाउट है, आप क्लैरिफाई कर दीजिए। इन जो 300 लोग जो अरेस्ट हुए हैं पिछले हफ्ते 10 दिन में, उनमें से ऐसा कोई भी है जो पीएफआई के साथ एसोसिएटेड नहीं था?
ना साहब, मैं एनआईए की कार्रवाई के ऊपर तो मैं कभी जो है ऐसा गलत बात कर भी नहीं सकता। एनआईए की ये जो कार्रवाई हुई है वो पूरे साक्ष्य जुटाते हुए, सबूत जुटाते हुए उन्होंने काम किया है। मैं फ्यूचर के लिए बात कर रहा हूं सर। फ्यूचर में ऐसा कोई काम ना हो जिससे कि मुस्लिम, इनोसेंट मुस्लिम परेशान।
ठीक है, तो आप कह रहे हैं कि जनरल माहौल ऐसा ना हो कि इनोसेंट मुस्लिम्स को ये लगे कि वो परसिक्यूट हो रहे हैं।
After 2 rounds of intensive raids and more than 300 arrests, it finally happened. The centre banned the Popular Front of India and its associates for 5 years under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Listing the reasons behind the ban, the Home Ministry's notification stated that PFI is involved in several criminal and terror cases and shows sheer disrespect towards the constitutional authority. With funds and ideological support from outside, it has become a major threat to the internal security of the country. And investigations in various cases have revealed that the PFI and its cadre have repeatedly engaged in violent and subversive acts.
निश्चित रूप से लंबे समय से जांच चल रही थी, कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा मिला है जो उनकी गतिविधियों को संदिग्ध बनाता है।
With PFI being declared an unlawful organization, their properties could be attached and activities of their members could be deemed illegal.
Where right now in the Benson town, where happens to be the PFI state head office here, are leaders across the state and from also outside the state. So they used to come and visit this organization.
A team of police officials have managed to reach over here. They are inspecting this entire site, just making sure that no untoward incident happens over here. And that is the reason why a team of police officials have just arrived.
The ban was welcomed by most state governments.
This is a very, very welcoming move. PFI and CFI create a fertile ground. Al-Qaeda Indian subcontinent can recruit youth.
जो minorities है उसमें घुसकर वहाँ पर अनरेस्ट निर्माण करना, वहाँ पर इंडोक्ट्रिनेशन करना, फंडिंग की भी अपनी व्यवस्था की है। छोटे छोटे अकाउंट निकालकर उसके माध्यम से किसी के ध्यान में ना आए इस प्रकार से ये टेरर फंडिंग कर रहे थे।
But politics wasn't far behind, with many opposition leaders questioning the move.
Every Muslim youth will now be arrested with a PFI pamphlet under India's black law UAPA. How come PFI is banned but organizations associated with convicts of Khaja Ajmeri bomb blast are not? Why has government not banned right-wing majoritarian organization?
Bans really have not worked in the past. The same people can work with a different name in a different organization. Earlier RSS were banned thrice. Has it stopped them?
For several years now, PFI has been one of the biggest threats to India. Their members chopped the hand of a college professor in Kerala. They've been behind cold-blooded murders of right-wing members and obtained explosives to target prominent people and places. So why object to a crackdown on such a radical organization?
All right, so what exactly does it entail? What are the implications of the ban of the PFI for 5 years? It's now been declared as an unlawful organization. What it means is you cannot be a member of this organization anymore. If you are becoming a member, then automatically you will be treated as a criminal. Also, forfeiture of property. The PFI as an organization cannot own any property because once the organization is banned, then it has to forfeit the properties in its name. It cannot organize. Articles of association will not happen or will not apply for an unlawful organization like the PFI. They will not be allowed to bring groups of people together and organize protests. Also, they cannot be taking donations. Remember, many organizations ask for donations, organize seminars, workshops, etc. None of those the PFI will be able to do. They can also not publish under the PFI name any more of their propaganda material. And also, most importantly, and I think this is where the nub of the fight is, their bank accounts. They will not have access to any financial resources. Bank accounts in the name of the organization will be frozen. Also, their properties, offices will be attached. There will also be travel curbs on their office bearers. They will not be allowed to travel far and wide if associated with the PFI. Let me now go across to Arunima, my colleague, who's been tracking this story. Now, one of the things that you've heard from political parties as well as other experts and analysts is that a ban doesn't materially amount to anything on the ground because today you've banned PFI, they can metamorphosize into something else, just like you did Simi a few years ago. Simi went on to become PFI. So how does the Home Ministry explain how they intend to counter that?
Well, this is not a version that they are supporting at all. In fact, senior police officials in states also who are dealing with PFI in their role of anti-terrorism unit, they also are saying this ban coupled with the All India action, the All India crackdown that has happened in the last 2 weeks, that has given them a huge leg up as far as their fight.
Thanks a lot for staying with us. A quick check of the day's biggest stories. Retired Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan has been named as India's Chief of Defence Staff. The post was lying vacant for over 9 months after the country's first CDS, General Bipin Rawat, was killed in a chopper crash last December. The appointment comes almost 4 months after government amended the Army, Air Force and Navy rules in early June. To broaden the pool for the selection of the CDS, it made retired 3-star officers among those eligible for the top post. In the midst of Rajasthan political turmoil, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will land in Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi this evening. So far, no action has been recommended against him, while show-cause notices were issued to 3 Gehlot camp MLAs, Shanti Dharewal, Mahesh Joshi and Dharmendra Rathore, for holding parallel meetings. Meanwhile, senior leader Digvijay Singh has entered the Congress president's race and is all set to file his nomination papers. CBI has got 5 days custody of Vijay Nair, a close associate of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, in connection with the excise policy scam. This is the first such arrest made in the case. Nair is one of the 15 named in the CBI's FIR. He is said to have been actively involved in irregularities in the framing and implementation of the excise policy in Delhi for the year 21-22. Apart from this, liquor businessman Sameer Mahendru has been arrested by the ED.
उसको गिरफ्तार कर लिया कि वो शराब दिल्ली के कोई शराब घोटाले में शामिल है। उसका दूर दूर तक उससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है। उसे क्यों गिरफ्तार किया गया? वो पिछले 4-5 दिन से उसको बुला भी रहे थे और कह रहे थे ज़बरदस्ती मनीष सिसोदिया जी का नाम लो, मनीष सिसोदिया जी का नाम लो। अब मनीष सिसोदिया जी के घर इन्होंने रेड कर ली, उसमें कुछ नहीं मिला।
विजय नायर की गिरफ्तारी यह बिल्कुल दर्शा रही है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो कह रही थी जो स्टिंग बता रहे थे और जो जांच बता रही है कि दिल्ली की शराब नीति में बहुत बड़ा घोटाला हुआ है।
Aam Aadmi Party MLA Amanatullah Khan was granted bail today in connection with a case of alleged irregularities at Delhi Waqf Board that is being probed by the anti-corruption branch. Just 2 days back, he was sent to 14-day judicial custody. He's charged with making arbitrary and illegal recruitments, misappropriation of funds, and renting out properties belonging to the board. Centre today extended its program to provide free ration to poor by 3 months. This scheme provides 5 kilograms of wheat and rice free of cost to 800 million households every month and will now run till December 31. The decision was taken in the Union Cabinet headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A day after BCCI replaced Mohammad Shami in the T20 international squad for the South Africa series, the pacer has shared his negative COVID report on Instagram. He shared a picture of the report that does not have a date but has negative written over it. Turkish singer Melek Mosso cut her hair on stage during a show in solidarity with thousands of Iranian women who are demanding justice for the death of Mahsa Amini. Malik Mosso's act of protest was met with cheers. The video went viral after Iranian journalists Omid Memarian and Sima Sabit shared the clip. This is part of the anti-hijab protests that have been triggered in Iran post the death of Amini, who was allegedly beaten in custody by the country's morality police. Argentinian women have come out on the streets in solidarity with Iran's hijab protesters. The feminist movement in Buenos Aires has joined the international outcry for Mahsa Amini, the Iranian Kurdish woman who died in custody after being detained by the morality police. The group carried out the demonstration in front of Iran's embassy. Demonstrators showed banners depicting the Iranian government as a religious dictatorship and crying for justice after the woman's death. Hurricane Ian has intensified into an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm as it approached Florida in the US. Forecasters have predicted it would retain top winds of 220 kilometers per hour until landfall. The hurricane is expected to cause life-threatening storm surge, catastrophic winds and flooding in the Florida peninsula. Another powerful storm has hit central Vietnam earlier today. Storm Noru has blown off roofs, billboards, uprooted trees and has caused a widespread blackout affecting over 1 million households. There have not been any immediate reports of casualties, but authorities said it would bring more rain and could still pose further danger. According to state media, the typhoon has downgraded to a tropical depression now after making landfall. And finally, before I take your leave in Seen Unseen today, we leave you with women Indian Air Force pilots flying the indigenously developed ALH Dhruv Mark III helicopters over Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Thanks a lot for watching.
Namaste and Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. I am joining you from Jammu, the very, very special effort that we put together, and we would show that to you later this evening. For long, I have wanted to come to Jammu and speak to the people here. When we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu largely goes unrepresented. But we'll talk about that and we'll showcase all of that later tonight on The Right Stand. But right now, the focus is by banning PFI and its affiliate organizations, fronts, etc., has the government of India taken the right stand? That is what we will try and look at while we speak to various voices. Joining us on the show tonight in a short while from now will be the National Secretary of the BJP, Shri Sunil Devdhar, followed by the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh, who we hope we can get through, Narottam Mishra ji. And then we will have Dr. Tara Karta and Abhijit Iyer Mitra talking to us on what they believe the government has done, should have done, etc., and whether or not they've taken the right stand. So let's begin with what happened right at daybreak this morning, this Wednesday, where the PFI order came through by the government, where under sections 3 and 4 of the UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, the PFI, its affiliates, its fronts were all declared unlawful organizations. This is what the order said, quote unquote. The central government today hereby declares the Popular Front of India and its associates or affiliates of fronts including Rehab India Foundation, Campus Front of India, All India Imams Council AIIC, Rights Organization NCHRO, National Women's Front, Junior Front, Empower India Foundation and Rehab Foundation Kerala as an unlawful association. That's what they have said. This is the MHA order, that the PFI and its affiliates, its fronts, etc. have been banned under Section 3 and 4 of the UAPA. Unlawful association is the point. Now, let me just quickly take you through what else has been said in this as far as the order and the reasons for the order. What are the reasons why the MHA has said we need to ban? PFI's sole objective is to expand its membership, pursuing secret agenda to radicalize society, disrespectful towards the constitutional setup. PFI has potential of disturbing communal harmony. Instances of PFI leaders linked with ISIS. PFI promoting sense of insecurity in the country. Governments of UP, Karnataka, Gujarat have recommended a ban on the PFI. This is what the order says, and it's justified and put out very clearly delineated reasons why the PFI, its fronts and its affiliates have been banned. And this ban and this notification came hours after a post-midnight PFI statement from its PR team, which actually had a 9-point counter. If we put out 9 different exclusives on grounds here at CNN News 18, it was a 9-point counter where largely the PFI claimed that it was a Hindutva fascist regime that has come out and is out on a witch hunt against the PFI. Let's take this aspect and whether or not the government of India has taken the right stand with Sri Sunil Devdhar, who's joining us now live at this point. Sunil ji, namaste. You are the National Secretary of the BJP and you have actually tweeted, you've congratulated the Prime Minister and the Home Minister for taking this action where you believe, you said, that organizations that want to alternate the DNA of Bharat. Let's start there. Your thoughts on this crackdown and ban?
This was an excellent action taken by NIA, and the secrecy which was maintained and the way across the country it took place at the same time, and hundreds of people are arrested, terrorists or the people those who were involved in terrorist activities or those who were planning for some big terrorist events in this country to disturb the very DNA of our country. It was timely stopped, I can say, and that is why I have thanked Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji for this timely action taken by them.
But Sunil ji,